Tyler Sagan hits a massive milestone, 1,000 career games, but the Stars, let's just say it wasn't exactly a masterpiece in Tampa Bay, but they find a way to salvage a point on the road.
You're Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer of 105 Through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. Happy Halloween. Welcome to a Friday edition of Locked On Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. It's very apropos that this episode is coming out on Halloween because that was a scary, sloppy, and frightening game from the Dallas Stars last night in Tampa Bay, but they do salvage a point on the road as the Lightning take it 2-1 in overtime. We'll break down that game, but on a positive note, Tyler Sagan plays in his 1,000th career game. We have to discuss that. And then, of course, the Texas Stars made a trade yesterday. I'll update you on what transpired yesterday afternoon before we kick you off in your weekend. We can have some fun, trick or treat, all that good stuff here on a Friday. As always, thank you so much for the love and support. Please be sure to hit that notification bell. Never miss an episode here of Locked On Stars. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Okay, let's get into last night's debacle for about 45 minutes from Dallas. We've talked about the recipe for success with the Stars right now with the amount of injuries they have, and we certainly did not see that yesterday outside of one, and the most important one in this all, Jake Ottinger. Man, he was spectacular. He was under siege, and the Stars were under siege, and Jake Ottinger deserves 1,000 steak dinners for what he did last night to at least get the Stars to overtime and get a point out of this one, potentially even steal the contest as the Stars fall in overtime. But he was spectacular, but by far the best Dallas Star. It wasn't even close, and the numbers are really ugly. We'll go through some of them, but they're as ugly as you would have imagined when you were watching that game. The expected goals against was 4.92 on Jake Ottinger. He was by far the best Dallas Star in the game. Tampa was just all over Dallas. The first period was actually competitive. Both teams had some extended shifts in the offensive zone. The shot on goal numbers were relatively similar, 11-6 for Tampa Bay, but I don't think it was as lopsided as that may seem. It was the second period that was just really poor. The Stars were outshot 10-4, and this is another contest. This is two games in a row now that the Stars went 15 to like 18 minutes without even a shot on goal. You're not going to win games that way, especially against Vasilevsky and the Lightning. 15 minutes without a shot just cannot continue to happen. And the Stars' best players in this one were not good. They were very poor. The Stars' best line was the fourth line. Ernie, Fox, and Bastion had really good shifts. They drew a couple penalties. The Stars' power play left a lot to be desired. They go 0 for 3. And more importantly, they got gifted with a 5-on-3. They were so lucky to not have to probably go on the penalty kill 2 more times in the game. There was that stretch on the Stars, I believe, second power play of the game in that second period, or it was the third period actually. When they got their power play, they probably took 2 or 3 penalties themselves, and it wasn't called. And then eventually they get a 5-on-3 for over a minute. And I don't even think they got more than a shot. I think they had one shot. It was a Wyatt Johnston stuff attempt. They struggled to really to just get a good look. They're overpassing. They're looking for a great shot instead of just a good one. It feels like at times, and they don't seem to have like a go-to guy to get the puck on net. For years, it was Robertson right on that right circle. Rantanen has sort of taken over that role, and I don't want to criticize the power play too much. It's been really good, but the last couple of games, they have been a bit too pass happy, and they just need to be more liberal with their shooting. And that needs to actually spill over into their 5-on-5 play as well. Only 21 shots on goal, 32-21, 15-minute lulls. We saw that in the previous game. I know they won, but it doesn't look very pretty. And they just struggled to get through the neutral zone last night. Tampa pinched in really hard. To me, it seems like, and I don't know if every team's doing this, but Tampa Bay last night, it kind of gave me the vibe of Tampa Bay does not respect the Stars offense at all. They don't respect the speed. They don't respect anything from Dallas offensively, that they're just going to pinch in hard. It just felt like all game long, they're pinching in, they're keeping plays alive, and Dallas just could not get out of their own zone, let alone get past the red line for a large chunk of that second period. It was just survival mode. That was really the whole game. It was survival mode for Dallas, and Jake Ottinger was superb in the game, and the only reason the Stars got a point out of that, they didn't even deserve that out of the game. And there's something to be said for losing with grace, right? That was a graceful loss last night for the Stars, and as much as I'm harping on the negatives, that was a great win for Dallas in a lot of ways. It was a great win, and to really hammer home some good points, like Foxa, Bastion, Ernie were awesome last night. Ernie picks up his goal. We needed to get to that because of the hard work by that fourth line. They seem to be the only line that could actually dump the puck in and then go get it. There was a lot of dumping and just no forecheck, and the Lightning would just go back the other way. The one line that seemed to actually be able to get the puck in and then get after it was this fourth line. They were heavy, and they just did a lot of great things. Petrovic picks up the assist. He gets it to the net, and Ernie's in front for the deflection. That was sweet stuff from Ernie. His first goal of the season, first in a while in the NHL. So congrats to him. That was a line that deserved it. And they got back in the game. The third period was pretty competitive for Dallas too. I thought they came out with some good energy. And they ended up out shooting Tampa Bay 10-8. The final 5 minutes of the first period into pretty much the entire second was pretty ugly. It was sloppy. Stars just were so discombobulated. But the third period, they did come out with some energy. And they deserve credit for that. It got them in the game. Otter holds it down. They had some chances. The third period, I would think, was probably one of their better periods in terms of creating. No, their first was actually still better. Their third actually was the worst at 5-on-5. But I bet all told it was 1.45 if you include the power plays, because that's when they had the 5-on-3. So that was big, although they still didn't really create enough off of that. But it was just one of those games. The Stars' best players were not playing great. Otter was awesome. Special team, they didn't win that battle. And you're not going to win a lot of games like that. They should have been ran out of the building, but they end up squeaking out with a point, which was great. To go over some of the ugliness, Stars outchanced 28-15 at 5-on-5, 13-5 high danger chances, 3.69 expected goals for Lightning, 1.24 for Dallas. So the numbers pretty much back up how ugly that one looked last night. But that's a graceful loss for Dallas. There was some positives in the game again. You had Ernie with the goal. Fourth line looked good, but they still, again, they're not going to create you a ton of chances. They're going to get you some in here and there. But if they're leading the way and scoring chances, you had a tough game. And that was the case last night. But a graceful loss for the Stars nonetheless. Tyler Seguin played in his 1,000th career game. I want to talk about him. where he ranks franchise-wise, and seems like he's going to maybe go down as one of the better stars all time, and hopefully he can cap off his career with a cup as well. Let's discuss Sagan and his career in Dallas in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Game Time. Hockey season is officially here, and nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. But let's be real, getting tickets can be a total headache between waiting in queues, surprise fees, and prices that jump right before checkout. It's easy to get frustrated when all you want to do is cheer on your team. That's where Game Time comes in. The app gives the fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. They have zone deals, which are a game changer. You pick the section, Game Time picks the seats, and you save big. You can find NHL tickets for under $25. You can also see the view from your seat before you purchase it, so you know you're going to get a great perspective, a great view. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKED, own NHL, LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go. Tyler Sagan, number 1,000 last night. Unfortunately, if you look at his hockey stat card, he actually credited out as the worst player in the game. So that stunk. Although there was some spots in the game that he made some plays and had some looks in the game. There was one in overtime. I thought, oh, he may end it, which would have been storybook, but it was not to be for Sagan and company. By the way, that was a great tribute, I suppose, from some of the stars wearing Sagan shirts, and they had the tattoo sleeves on. I thought that was real creative. The fake tattoo arm sleeves looked really good. But the Stars posted a graphic, 6-time All-Star, second overall pick, of course, 363 career goals and 814 career points. Of course, he won a Stanley Cup with the Bastion Bruins in 2011, and then he was traded in that Louis Erickson deal. I believe Riley Smith was also sent to Boston in that deal, and just really became a core piece here in Dallas rather quickly. When you look back and think about the narrative, sort of the reputation that was around him, maybe didn't take the game very seriously, had maybe too much fun off the ice, and I'm sure he still had a lot of fun off the ice here in Dallas, but he really has matured immensely, not only personally, but on the ice. I feel like I've talked about this ad nauseum. It feels like every few weeks, just his game adapting and just becoming a more complete player, offensively, defensively, responsible on the faceoffs. We know he could always score. He had that knack back in the day. He used to line up at that right circle and he could hammer away on the power play. And he got a 40-goal season off of that. I mean, was consistently upper 30s from 2013 to 2018 in the goal scoring department. He had some lulls offensively at points, but was dealing with injuries. And now it's become a real leader inside that dressing room with Jamie Benn out now. They touched on it on TNT a ton last night. His leadership has grown, has become a really model veteran, right? He kind of has to almost take over that role that Joe Pavelski had over the last couple of years of his career in Dallas. And you see a lot like Robert Tiffin. A lot of times, in Morning Skate, it seems to be the first one out there with Adam Ernie. Like, he's out there early. He's setting the example, and he's still playing really well. He's still playing. He's got 5 points in 11 games. Last year, 21 points in 20 games. Of course, Duchesne helped, and Marchment as well. Right now, he's missing his buddy Duchesne. that is going to affect some of his numbers offensively. It's no secret he's going to be more productive when he has Sagan or when he has Duchesne with him. He's playing with Ernie a bit. Like, they're just kind of moving him up and down the lineup, and he just fits in. He can really play anywhere. We saw him the other night. He was playing up front with Rantanen and Robo. He can play with Ernie and Foxa, Bastion, Blackwell if you want. He can play really wherever, and he's going to make an impact. He's going to be consistent, and he's just been a really core piece here with the Stars, and deserves maybe more credit for what the Stars have done than maybe he gets, just with Ben being, the captain, the face in a lot of ways. But he's really crept up now. Like, Dallas Stars rank, you think he's fifth in games, 797 career games here in Dallas. His career point numbers, he got 693 as a Star. That's fifth. 363 career goals. He is up there as well in some of the franchise ranks. If you look at goals, he's fifth. He probably will catch Cicerelli at some point with the North Stars. May end up probably being third all time. I think that's very realistic if he plays a couple more years. Even points wise, he's fifth. Maybe he catches Bellows at some point. That's remarkable what he's done. And I think he's just been a great, I think maybe just a great model for how you can come in sort of, young and spry, like to have fun. We see that a lot, but become really dedicated, also have fun, but become a leader on the team, become a reason you're winning games, becoming a reason why your franchise turns around, along with Ben, getting to this point where they're in playoff contention every year. The last 3 years, they're just the best, one of the best teams in the NHL the last 3 years, right? Just simply put, being contenders. And even during this stretch where the Stars are just so hindered by these injuries, they're staying competitive in some of these games, and they're finding a way. And that's what it's all about. I think that's sort of his career. He's just found a way. Injuries, hips, you name it, and he's come back better at points. And he's come back and still been a guy you can rely on. You look at, from 2021 to 24, he was still 20 goals per season. He would have hit 20 last year easily if he didn't get hurt. And it's become, I think, a real weapon in the playoffs too, because of this new identity of his game. Last couple, he's got 14 combined goals the last 3 years in the playoffs. Like, he's had a little clutch in him. He scored a couple big overtime winners. Like, Sagan's just been a real treat to watch in Dallas. He's just been real fun, I think, to get that type of talent, like as a second overall pick. The Stars were able to grab him for, and he has fit the bill for the most part. I know you can look and be like, yeah, he's underachieved, or maybe he wasn't worth the contract he was given, but whatever. He was the best, one of the best, if not the best Stars player for a 5-year stretch when the Stars weren't doing a lot. It was, they're in the playoffs one year, then they're not the next, because they just struggled to put guys around him. And Ben, I've always said, for as much flack as Sagan and Ben have gotten with, the amount of money, like, I don't think the Stars were built around them enough. You see now, like, this is how the Stars should have been able to build around them back in their primes. It's unfortunate. The Stars have been at their best without Sagan and Ben in their primes. Like, that's the unfortunate part of all this. Last 5 years, they're up in their 30s. They're coming out of their prime. They've had some good years, but they weren't at their physical peak. That's what really stinks. And maybe it would have been fun to watch the Stars with the Sagan when he was 26, be at this spot with the Stars built the way they are. But congrats to him for 1,000 career. That's an incredible achievement, especially when you factor in the injuries that he's had. And if he didn't, like, he'd be 1,200 easily right now. That's a great achievement in itself. It still feels like he's got maybe a year or two more that he can still get after it a bit before the real decline it becomes really, really steep. So congrats to him. And just wanted to highlight some of the greatness that he has done here in Dallas and been a part of these teams. And, by the end of it, he may be up there, top 4, top 3 in some of these categories. And we'll look back and be like, yeah, he's, one of the better Stars ever to some degree. If he wins a cup, he certainly will. Hopefully Stars are able to do that for him. But good on him. And it was great to see. They are going to be doing a celebration for him. I believe it's next Saturday, not the one tomorrow, but the next Saturday against Florida. They'll be doing a celebration for him at the AAC, which will be great. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of a Texas Stars trade for yesterday. Stars are adding to the Finnish Mafia down in Cedar Park, and we'll kick you off into your weekend. We'll do that in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will miss next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So what are you waiting for? Get to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game. FanDuel is awesome. NBA, college football, NFL has everything you need right there on the app, and you can have a lot of fun. So head to FanDuel.com, sign up, play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. So this dropped yesterday afternoon. The Stars had acquired Samu Tuomala from the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for defenseman Christian Kyrou. These are two players that have spent the last few seasons in the AHL. So this was strictly an AHL trade for the time being. Who knows if either one of them ends up, maybe making it to the NHL at some point. But it feels like this, and how it was sort of explained to me, this is a chance for two players that just maybe need a change in scenery. Kyrou was a defenseman that the Stars, drafted. I think there was some belief that maybe he could develop and have a chance to crack an NHL lineup. He is undersized, right? 5'11". He's not big. He's more of an offensive, guy. Had 15 points last year. The Texas Stars haven't got off to a great start. They've struggled, and Kyrou's been a healthy scratch at points. Tuomala, just a little background on him, has recorded 0 goals in 3 games with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms this season. Carries a plus-minus of +1. He's from Finland. He had 32 points in 46 games last year. He ranked 3rd on the team in assists, 4th in points, and 10th in goals. The 5'11", 190-pound forward has skated in 120 career games in the AHL, all with Lehigh Valley, posting 75 points. He was originally selected in the 2nd round, 46th overall. Kyrou has played in 97 career games in the AHL. He was drafted 50th overall, so back in 2022. So they're both selected around the same number, Kyrou 50th and Tuomala 46th. So a chance for them to get a different scenery and a chance to maybe find some new life. But that was completed yesterday, a business transaction, and gives the Texas Stars maybe some added scoring, which they need a bit. It's been a rough start for for the Texas Stars. Of course, they have Toby Peterson, the new head coach, with Neil Graham getting the promotion, and they're just trying to find their way here early this season. You look at some of the scoring numbers for Texas in their first 5 games. Kyle Capobianco, their leading scorer, had 4 points in 5 games. Stranges has 3 points. Huru with a couple. It just hasn't been the most, I guess, productive start. They're 0-5-1, right? Like it's not been good. Just 10 goals in their first 6 games, and they're giving up 19. So they have some work to do, and maybe Tuomala can help them put the puck in the basket a bit more, and maybe both parties here can benefit from this move. But wanted to kind of touch on that, since that was thrown in the mix yesterday, and the Stars get another Finn. Just keep acquiring as many Finnish talent as they can, and Texas Stars need to right the ship here quickly, and pick up a few wins. So it's been up and down for both teams and the Stars organization to start the year. Stars will be playing tomorrow. They got Florida. They got the Panthers. Man, you come out with a victory against Florida, who hasn't been great, really. I mean, frankly, they haven't been very great at times. They're 500. You pick up 3 out of 4 points on this trip. That is a phenomenal little Florida swing. So a great opportunity. Of course, Florida's missing a lot of bodies too. So there's 2 teams that are a bit riddled by injuries, but we all know the Panthers have a lot of great talent to trot out there either way. And so does Dallas to that effect too. They just got to play like it. Marchand has gone too. I know he's dealing with a bit of a family or a personal matter. So if there's any time to play Florida, it's right now. And that'll be a fun one. So looking forward to that. It's a birthday contest for me. So hopefully the Stars can give me a happy birthday on a Saturday. And the Stars will return home. And then we'll break that down on a Monday. So that's going to do it. I'm rambling a bit here, but just wanted to do some housekeeping here on the podcast. As always, thank you so much for loving support, Stars fans. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Enjoy a happy Halloween. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll be back on a Monday. And we'll see you then. So long, Stars fans.